Well, hi everyone, here we are again. We've just had a beautiful few days of sunshine, but sadly I'm not allowed to stay out in the sun because chemo and sun don't actually go together, so I've been hidden away in the shadows. But I thought I'd get out early this morning just to have a little chat with you. Great news is I've only got 13 months and counting of daily chemo, then hopefully the chemo and the treatment will have finished. This morning I thought I'd do something a little bit different, because way back in the 1970s I was travelling with Andy, Ishmael and Andy, and one thing we used to do was poetry and drama. I used to read a poem and Andy used to jump around the stage and do the drama in Ishmael and Andy days. You might remember them. The humour was pretty weird even in those days, but this morning a little bit of culture, because let me give you a little poem, one that we do, and as I say, Andy would act out as I'd read it. This is the story of David and Goliath, way back in 1970. The story that I'm about to tell is one that's very old, but it's not the story that's dated, it's the way that it's been told. So listen as I tell you what happened on that day when the Philistines fought the Israelites and neither would give way. Well, as time went by, a hero arose on the Philly side. His name was Gol, and he came from Gath. He was his mother's pride. For Gol, he was no ordinary guy. He was big and tough and mean. He certainly was the biggest guy the Izzies had ever seen. He shouted, "I'm the greatest." The Izzies never said a word. They were even scared to blow a raspberry in case Big Gol had heard. Well, the Phillies decided now was the time to put the big boot in. They said, "Hey, Izzies, send out your man. We'll give you your chance to win." The Izzies just stood there sweating. They didn't know what to say, until a little kid named Dave spoke up and saved the day. He said, "We've got on our side. We'll knock that big mouth out." So armed with his homemade catapult, he set off to start the bout. Well, Gol just stood and laughed at him. He said, "Now what have we got here? A funny little geezer who's forgot his army gear." But Dave just aimed his catty. In no time, Gol was dead. The first ever guy to be recorded, stoned out of his head. Oh, very 60s, 70s. Well, the Phillies lost that day, and it's easy to see why. Without God with them, they had no hope, neither you nor I. For the battle you're fighting's against God, and you just can't beat sin. So be like Dave, have God on your side. It's the only way you'll win. Have a wonderful few days, and I'll be catching up with you again soon. God bless you all, and thank you again for your prayers. Bye now.